Are you okay, Benson?
I believe I've come down with the flu, my dear.
Well, hold on a minute. I'm gonna call a professional.
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Chef. Benson has the flu, and I just don't know what to do.
No problem. Tell you what, just give me about an hour, and I'll whip up some creamy chicken noodle soup. Oh, it'll take care of everything. No problem.
Bigfoot Cooking.
So it looks like today we are going to make us up some creamy chicken noodle soup. But we're going to do this completely from scratch. We're going to make the noodles. We're going to make everything to it. So let me give you guys the ingredients for today's magic chase of flavor. That's right. We're going to start out with what it takes to make the noodles, which in this case, we're just going to make some egg noodles. I basically need 2 cups of flour. I'm going to be using the double O flour. It's the finest grind that you can get. It's a little fancy flour. If you don't have it, no problem. You could use regular all-purpose or even bread flour. It's not that big of a deal, but it does have a little texture change. So we got ourselves our 2 cups of double O flour and 2 eggs. That's all it's going to take to make the pasta. Now, for the main hoo-ha of this thing, we've got ourselves, I've got about 3 pounds of chicken thighs here. It came out to be 6 of them. This is bone-in. If you wanted to use chicken breast, you could substitute that, whatever you like. I like the thighs because they cook a little better and they actually have flavor to them. From there, we've got ourselves, I'm going to use up a mess of carrots. Like I say, if you got the really big ones, you could get by with 4, but in this case, these were a little smaller. We've already got them peeled and they are good to go. I've got myself 3 big ribs of celery for this, an onion. We're going to be using 6 cups of chicken broth. From that, we're going to add a teaspoon of turmeric, oregano, 3 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of pepper, a half a stick of butter. We're going to need a 1/3 cup of flour and a half a cup of whipping cream. Notice I didn't say salt. We're going to wait until the very end of this to put the salt in, because if you put it too soon, the way this is cooking so long, you could actually kind of over salt it before you even knew what happened. So there's your short list of ingredients. Let's go ahead and get started on the noodles. Now, to make the noodles, nothing stops you from doing this grandma style, dumping it out on the counter, building you a little well, putting the eggs in it. All of that is completely acceptable, but we also have electricity and mechanization. So we are going to do it the easy way. We're going to take our 2 cups of flour, plop them in here, and then to make sure I don't get shells on the inside, let's go ahead and crack them in the bowl, because you know, it never works out the way you want it to, right? You'll bust it, a shell will come in, you'll be chasing it. Oh, it takes all the fun out of it. So let's see, we got 1 egg. Whee! 2 egg with shell. My luck. Look at there. Dadgummit. No problem. We saved it. Whee! Into the mix. And now from here, well, we just set it down, lock it, and let it go till we have dough. That rhymes. All right, we have ourselves some pasta dough. Now, I did have to go and put 1 more egg in this. Yeah, I've kind of been spoiled by my duck eggs. They're a little larger than this, but we've got it kneaded up. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this rest. You can wrap this in saran wrap if you want, but I'm just gonna put it in a bowl here, and I'm gonna stick it into the fridge so that way we can let the gluten genies do their gluten magic with this, so that way we can roll it out later. So now this is handled, let's get on with the soup. All right, while that is glutenizing and everything, let's go ahead and fire up our little burner here. Oh yeah, flame on. And we are gonna melt a little butter into the pot. In with our half a stick of butter. So while our butter is melting, I'm gonna take my thighs here. I'm gonna go ahead and de-skin them so that way they don't, what we're doing, we're trying to basically put a little bit of a flavor crust on this thing, and skin, at least as far as I can tell, don't really shred too well after it's cooked. So off with the skin. All right, butter's melted, in goes the thighs. Ooh, that's a tight fit. They almost didn't make it. And we'll, like I say, we'll just give these a few minutes. We'll let them brown, flip, brown again, and then we'll pull them back off. Now to save a little time while this is going on, we're gonna go ahead and cut up our nummy num veggies. We'll start out with our carrots. And of course you want this, since it's soup, we wanna do this into more of a bite size. So don't get them so big that the only thing you get in that bite's a carrot. So we'll just chop these up and, well, make them pretty. All right, carrots are cut up. Let's flip over our meat. All right, like I said, we're just wanting a little bit of browning. So now, celery time. And again, just like the carrots, you want this kind of bite size. If you don't like celery, but you know, crunchy water does have a flavor additive that goes in here that really makes a difference. That's why, like I say, there are those who prefer it not to be in there, but trust me, it works with this, all right? So now let's get to the shop of all three. And yes, I did call these crunchy water sticks. Now with the onion, you could do either a white onion or yellow. It's kind of that, you know, what preference do you have? What flavor do you like? What do you want your soup to taste like? There's really no wrong answer. It's preference. I mean, that's the joy of cooking. Everybody does it the way they like it, right? And then they eat it the way they like it. So now, onion time. Now, like you see, I've got these cut up a little bit smaller, but in all honesty, if you like big bites of veggies in your soup, don't cut them up as small. See, that's the joy of it. You know, canned, you kind of don't have a choice. You get what you get. Ooh, onions are making me cry. You get what you get, but when you make it at home, well, do it how you like. And speaking of liking, I'm liking how this browning is going on. I think this will be about right. Let's see. Nah. Let it go a little bit more. Patience. It's hard, but you gotta have patience. You know, although butter fried chicken does sound pretty good, I think we're gonna pull these as they are, and we'll set these back on a clean plate. And now, into our butter and leftover chicken goodness, veggies. All in one shot. Let's give them a stir. We'll just make sure they get coated in butter. And we're just gonna let these guys go probably long enough to soften up and absorb a little heat. Almost forgot, while this is going on, about the time this gets done, we'll be ready for our garlic. So let's go ahead and prep it. We'll just, why do everybody smash it with a knife? Just take the palm of your hand, set these guys up, and a little high karate. Because all you're trying to do is loosen up the skins on the outside, so that way the skin will come right off. All right, skins are off. Now time for some knife work. You could run this through a crusher, or, well, you can just chop the fool out of it. All right, we've got our garlic cut up nice and small. We'll put it in there because the biggest thing, you do not want garlic to burn. It has a smell that you will not forget, that's for sure. So we'll stir this in, give it about a minute more, and then we'll add some flour to it. Flour? Why flour, you ask? I'm glad you did. See, what we're doing, the butter that we put in there initially, we're basically gonna make a roux. That's how you get the creamy in the chicken noodle soup. Now, if you didn't want to do a roux, if you just wanted to make this more of a soup as opposed to a creamy soup, leave out the butter in the beginning, leave out the flour I'm about to put in, and leave out the whipping cream. All right, so all these guys are happy. In with the flour. That's right. Again, this is where you're making a secondhand roux per se. So our goal now is to cook this until all the flour disappears and we have this little gummy, lovely residue left behind. That's right. That is your roux. Well, that sure thickened it up. I mean, if you look right there, you can see everything now has that thickness on it. Oh yeah. We're gonna have some good chicken soup right here. So now that the flour has cooked in a little bit, well, let's take 2 cups of our broth. We'll go ahead and pour it in. And we'll give it a stir and stir it on the bottom really hard. That way all that stuff that's stuck to the bottom, you break it loose and get it ready to go. All right, I think everybody is broke loose and happy with this. So now we can go ahead and add the rest of our broth. Bring it right on up in there. All right, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and grab our chicken and ease it on back in here. That's right, don't dump it. We don't want no splashes. We just want it to get into the pot. All right, chicken is in. Now, let's add the flavor in. We'll start out with our turmeric. Just bring it on in there. Our pepper. Pepper indeed. I didn't say this earlier, but I found they make a liquid ginger. I mean, it's not got all the ginger parts in it, but you know what? A little squirt of this will help in there too. We'll just put in maybe teaspoon-ish. And then we're actually gonna use some fresh oregano for this. I'm not gonna chop it up in this case because I want you to see the leaves on it. I'm just gonna pull it off the stem and drop it in. Now again, you can slice this up and get it smaller, but if you notice, as I'm pulling them off, I'm kind of twisting them in my hands and bruising them, I guess you'd say. That kind of helps release some of the oils that are in it. All right, now that everybody's in the pot, we're gonna go ahead, turn it up on high, bring it up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, we're just gonna let it simmer back down and just keep it where it's barely bubbling a little bit for about 30 minutes. Oops, that'll let the chicken cook. All right, boom, magic. Time passes just like that. Now, we've got ourselves a lovely dish, nice and steamy and good. We've checked the temperature on it. Ooh, I fogged up. We've checked the temperature on the chicken. All of it is over 165. So now we're gonna go ahead and shred it up. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. You could do it with a fork. You could do it with even a blender, but I'm gonna go kind of old school in a weird way. I'm gonna take my barbecue gloves, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna reach in here and grab these guys out and set them on my little cutting board here. Now that the chicken's out, like I say, instead of forking it, well, I'm just gonna put on my gloves and shred it by hand. Now the good thing about this is you get to do what Mama told you not to do. You get to play with your food. So now we've got everything off the bone. I'm gonna go ahead, like I say, you can keep doing this by hand and mush and mash all this up. I'm gonna take the knife and just kind of come through here and rough chop all of this. That way I make sure everything is down to a bite size. I mean, I want to get chicken in every bite, but I don't want big old hunks of it. So let's do a little choppy. All right, we've got ourselves some cut, sliced, shredded, whatever you want to call it. We got some chicken that's ready to go back into the pot. So we'll just represent it back to its normal home. All right, and while these guys are getting reacquainted, oh, can't forget the noodles. That's right. Let's get them out of the fridge and get them on here. All right, this guy is happy over here. Let's go ahead and work on the noodle part of this chicken noodle. Let's just apply us a little bit of snow here. It's almost that time of the year. I'm surprised we haven't had any, actually. It's a little disappointing. So let's see, I'm gonna take my dough ball and I'm gonna pull about half of it off. I figure that'll be a good working quantity. Set the lid back on. And now for the magic. We're just gonna, a little bit of flour on both sides. That way nothing sticks. And now we roll. All right, we've got this guy rolled out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. What we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take my pasta bike. Yeah, this is a really cool thing. And we're gonna cut this into strips. And then we're gonna come back, and cut it into bites. You know, the good thing about this is it doesn't have to be exact. You're not making a fancy tortellini or something. You're just slamming together some pasta. Woo. And this guy is steaming ready for it too. So let's go ahead, we'll scoop a few of these up at a time. We won't dump them all at once, otherwise they will just, well, you won't get a noodle, you'll get a lump of noodle. So we'll drop these in a few at a time and just keep on till they're all gone. Now, if you wanted to make this really noodly, you could go ahead and use the other. Like I say, you've got the option. So this is just enough for what we're doing today. But oh, if you wanted it chocked full of noodles, well, there's another whole bit of it ready to go. We're gonna give us about 10 more minutes and then we're gonna add the cream. All right, our pasta's had about 4 minutes to marinate in here. Whoosh, steam facial, anybody? Let's go ahead and add our cream into it. Kind of stir it while we do it. Oh, This looks so nice. All right, we've given a few minutes for the cream to get in here and get happy. Now you notice the color of it. That's from the turmeric. The turmeric is supposed to have all kinds of medicinal properties as far as helping with aches and pains and sickness and all kinds of things. And like I say, you can go do a whole research paper on that. I'm not a doctor, I just know chicken noodle soup. So now that we've got that in, well, let's see how we taste. Because remember, we haven't salted this stuff yet. So let's get us a scoop of a noodle in a little bit and let's see what we got. Other than being really hot, it's not bad, but yes, it does need a little salt. So we're gonna get us maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon, add it to there, give this a stir in and see if that's enough. See, the thing about salt, you can keep adding it to it. So if you do just a little bit at a time until it's right, you're good. But the moment you go over, there's no backing up. So let's see, check with a different spoon, get us a big old hawking bite this time. I think I'm gonna do it again. Oh yeah, now we in business. Now we in the chicken noodle business. Let me get a big old ladle full right here. We'll just scoop this guy out grandiose style. Now, as you can tell from the fact that this thing is steaming, I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes to chill out. So let me zip through the boring part. Whoosh. All right, I had to walk outside to actually step away from this because the smell of it is absolutely enticing. I mean, it's got some good color to it from the turmeric. It's got pretty good flavor from that first hot bite. But, well, let's see what we got after we've let it marinate for just a few minutes. You know, this is almost a soup you could eat with a fork. I mean, the thickness of it, the creaminess of it, absolutely amazing. It's got a good, happy, you know, when you're chewing on it and your mouth is happy and then you swallow it and your tummy is happy. This is some good stuff right here. I know somebody who's really in need of this, so they may not get all of it, but they're gonna get some of it. So till next time, y'all remember that Bigfoot is real. Delivery.
How was your soup, Benson? It was perfection in a bowl. I feel so good, I think we should go see how the woodchucks are doing. Oh, Benson, you're such a party animal.